Education and business linked together would create a powerful engine with a positive change, which would also result in by being a seasoned veteran in a chosen industry. Talking Point connects with Ms. Zahara Ansary, Country Manager for AICPA and Cima. Welcome to Talking Point.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Women entrepreneurs play a pivotal role in society. How do you see when the power is being faced when the women entrepreneurs are also backed up with a solid education?
In short, they'll be able to do amazing things. Out there in the world, I believe there are about 250 million odd women entrepreneurs and about another 150 running their own kind of thing. Imagine all of them being given the power of education and then the ripple effect that they create. I would think there'll be amazing things that will happen, because not only would they help themselves grow their own businesses, but they would go on to help other women, because most often than not, most of the research has also shown women entrepreneurs also help other women succeed. And what's going to happen next? The economies are going to succeed, the countries are going to succeed. And if all of these people are given education, they'll be able to succeed even more. One of the things I'm very conscious about is I always believe that a woman will help the next generation more than the other gender, mainly because they have that inherent nature of, caring, looking after kids, the children, all of that. So they will ensure that whatever that they get out of education, they pass it down to the other generations, and hence I firmly believe they'll be able to do so much more with education. They'll be able to make things happen.
Certainly. And if she can learn, she can earn. It's a statement that speaks volumes, isn't it? Through education, a global connection is made in. Explain to us more on these lines.
So you said if she can learn, she can earn. It's not just money. It could be networks, it could be connections, it could be so much more, a better quality of life. An educated woman is an empowered woman. We've seen that. And on top of it, she'll be healthier, she'll be happier. In real life, I've seen so many of our CGMA community, the Cima students and members, who've gone on to create things which they've not had in the history of their families. They've gone on to hold higher positions in society, in the profession, in all types of functions, not just in accounting or finance. And when you consider the global perspective, in the recent past, we were all impacted by the lockdown, by the financial crisis, and so on, right? So the women who were educated were able to go out of the box and not just look at, the normal traditional roles, but rather they were able to start working freelance, remote work, gig work. There are so many options out there. I'm particularly proud to talk about one of the initiatives that we at AICPA and Cima have enabled for the moms who've taken a career break. We've tied up with about 10 to 15 companies, and we're bringing them back into the workforce. We're going to train them and bring them back. And trust me, the response has been amazing. Within hours of putting up that post, we had about 250 odd ladies who applied for it. So the opportunity is out there, and for them, if they learn, they know they can also earn. One thing I would want to also emphasize is that when women are educated, there is a higher participation in the workforce. And like I said before, whilst it helps economies and all of that, it helps their own families a lot more as well.
Just to add on, since you are a veteran in this industry of education, how would you perceive a point when it comes to education learnt right? We were just speaking of air, and we were just discussing the importance of connecting with the educational courses, which has an in-depth learning, isn't it?
Definitely. See, when you learn, two aspects to this. you need to invest in the right kind of qualifications and the certifications. Like we were discussing, there are now all of these top-up degrees and MBAs, and I was shocked to hear that there are even top-up MBAs that are like, very short duration, in less than a year, which for a person like me who's been in education absolutely makes no sense, because you have to actually learn. It's not a piece of paper. It's not, just a post nominal, but it has to be something of value to yourself and something that the corporate world also values. Because for some of us, we would, straight out see, when you are bluffing, we would straight out see that, and the quality of the so-called qualification as well. So if you are thinking of investing in your studies, whether you're a young kid or whether you're already at work, or whether you're even a mid-career professional, make sure that it is something that could give you value, something that's recognized locally as well as globally. I'm not in any means promoting Cima or the professional qualifications out there, but one more thing that you need to also look at is the world of careers of the future. One of the best articles that you can read is the World Economic Forum Jobs of the Future 2023 report. It's going to show you how the jobs are moving, what jobs are going to get, removed, what kind of new jobs are coming up, like the green, the climate related jobs and all of that. There's a lot of climate change happening. Then there's technology impact and so on. So whatever that you are going to get a qualification in, make sure that it's relevant for the times, not something that's totally outdated and doesn't go with, the technological changes that are happening today. And whatever that you invest, make sure the return is also worth it.
So as you rightly said, there could be designations coming up which is going to get accustomed to the requirement,
yes,
isn't it?
Yes, of course.
Right. In your perspective, how should a woman be a change maker in society?
Big title, but it's something that they've been doing for years and they can continue to do. So to be a change maker, women in the right positions can show the rest of the world what's possible. I mean, if I am to take examples from our own Cima world, Jayanti Dharmasena, when she became the director at Haley's, she was the first lady to become a director in a leading organization. And then we all know Kasturi's story, right? How she became the first group CEO. And very recently we had Miss Melanie Kanaka, who became the Cima president. These are all Sri Lankan ladies that I'm talking about.
Exclusively.
Yes, and they've shown what is possible, what can be done. So not only are they creating a change, shattering all the glass ceilings and everything, but they're also showing everybody else what's possible. And this is not just in business. I mean, whatever role that you undertake, even if you are a teacher, that's one of the most noble roles that we know, right? Because they are the ones who mold us right from the start. So whether you're in service industry, wherever you are, believe in yourself that you can make a change and that you can be a change maker. We are not equal to men. I believe we are much more than that. We are much more than that. So we need to also stand for what's right. And as a working woman who's got 2 young girls, daughters, we are not perfect. But I'm very authentic whenever I do anything at work. I tell my team, even today in the morning, when we had our team meetings and all of that, I'm very vulnerable. I would tell them what my concerns are, my issues are, but I will go out to the world and prove I can do anything, because I can. And I am super glad. Sometimes there are people who reach out to me. I do programs at schools like career guidance sessions and all of that. People reach out to me and say, oh, you're inspiring our daughters. Alhamdulillah, that's the best response I can get, because I am happy if I am doing that for someone else. Because growing up, I didn't necessarily see anyone like us. So now I am happy if I can make that happen, and I'm sure all the women out there can also do the same. Be an inspiration for the other girls out there, the young ones out there, and also, if possible, try and be a mentor to a few, because then you become a real change maker. Also, don't forget, keep yourself up to date with what's happening out there in the world. lifelong learning is the thing. I mean, you can't shy away from knowing what's happening out there in the world. And amongst all that you're doing in terms of changing the world, have time for yourself. Your mental well-being is also extremely important.
Very true. And how do we optimize a management style to empower women in workplaces?
So, to answer this, I'll probably take off my recent experience of being a judge at the Women Friendly Workplace Awards that's done by Satin Magazine and AICPA and Cima. We saw a lot of amazing practices that are in companies and so on. But like you mentioned, the management style, it can't simply be, top to bottom, but the policies, the entire workplace, the culture, all of that matters in order to empower women at the workplace. So for sure there has to be proper policies, there has to be unconscious bias training to be done across board, and the management needs to champion this. They need to be seen, heard, walking, talking, everything that they are empowering the women. It's not like a tick box exercise. Some of the organizations, unfortunately, we see women empowerment happens only in March. And guess what? It's only on the 8th. That does not work. It's way beyond that. So you need to start from the top, led by the management, ensure everything else also is falling into place. Now, if you take the accounting profession, we have about 37% of females in our profession, whereas more than 50% is the count of females as students. Sri Lanka is in a much better place. I mean, looking at my CGMA membership numbers, we are like way better because our membership is also like 50% females. But across the world, there is still a lot more way to go, and there are certain jobs that people would feel only a male can do. So maybe it's time that management considers all of that. I am so happy that now you don't have roles that say, okay, only male CFOs or male finance heads, because back in the past it was there, right?
How is the response in Sri Lanka?
Great. I mean, now we have so many opportunities. Right now, I've got about 108 training partners tied up with us at AICPA and Cima, and most of the jobs that we provide is, there's no discrimination. And across board, I see a lot of women succeeding, not just here, but across the globe. And I'm super happy to see that as well. And the fact that a lot of companies are also taking the effort, not just the March 8 ones, but there is a segment who are really bothered about DE&I. And that's great, because with women empowerment, there is also, research has shown this, there's also an increase of 25% in profits. This is a McKinsey survey that was done. So, well,
that
if you want to
all.
Exactly.
What an inspiring conversation, because if a lady can think out of the box and empower her whole self, she would definitely be a change maker in society. A wonderful discussion. Thank you so much for connecting with Talking Point, Ms. Zahara Ansary.
Thank you once again for the opportunity.